Okay, I've got another car video for you. Thank you so much to everybody who left really kind comments on my last super sad video. And the prayers, like, it just truly blows my mind that there's people out there who are actually invested in this journey and are just care to like pray. That just it just really it warms my heart. So thank you. So I just wanted to kind of do an off-the-cuff update about where things left off from my last video, which is called This Isn't Working, if you want to go watch it if you haven't already. Basically, I was just, if you didn't see it, I was in a really sort of like a hopeless place and just really sad that God wasn't moving in the areas of my life that I needed him to. Because if you haven't seen my previous videos, I've kind of had my whole life sort of the whole rug pulled out from under me. The city I thought I was going to live in didn't work out. The whole, not just the job, but the entire career path that I had been working on for the couple of years completely just door slammed in my face. And this is the second time that that's happened now. And so I was just really searching for guidance about those things and needing provision, because I also have a sizable amount of debt. And it just, I thought I was just being patient, and it's been several months, and I was just like, okay, God, like, I need to know what to do. And I just kind of like ran out of gas, I guess. And I had thought, okay, well, if God was going to come through, he would have done it by now, or I would have figured something out by now. He would have given me some sort of wisdom, and it didn't happen. And I'm at a point now where I realize that the things that God spoke to me since were that I just am at a point where I kind of dressed it up like, oh, I've been wrong before in my own judgment, and Lord, I just want to seek what your will is. Just tell me what your will is. Like, what direction do I need to go? And it looks really virtuous, right? Because it's like, oh, I'm not my will, but yours be done. But it was more like the motivation was, no, I need the right path. I need the golden path that isn't going to allow me to fail. So just come on, just tell me what it is. Instead of like, okay, I want to seek you because I want to know you, and I want my life to honor you, and I want my life to show how much I love you, and I want to operate out of the identity that you've given me. Like, that wasn't the goal. The goal was to know what the practical things to do were. And it sounds good, but the motivation was wrong. It was like, I just want to know what the right decision is because I don't want to fail. I don't necessarily want to get that close with you. And I knew, a part of me kind of knew that I was operating from that perspective, but I didn't know how deep it went, how much I prioritized getting the answers over getting to know God. And yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks to admit it, but I'm superficial and shallow in that regard. And I don't want to be. And I've been praying that God would change my heart, that I would desire him above all else. But you know, I'm surrendering to him the right to have an answer, or this sort of demanding of his guidance. And I'm using faith to trust his timing, and to trust that he knows what he's doing, and to the faith to even believe that my identity as a child of God is actually true, and the character of God is actually true as well. So, sorry if you heard my stomach, it was growling. So yeah, if you're in a place where you're needing God to come through and he isn't, and you feel like you really need answers, or you really need some kind of provision or what have you, and it's just not coming through, I want to encourage you. The things that I've learned through this is that I have to surrender my timeline to God and trust his timing. And second, I have to build a foundation with him before I can go making all of these big life-changing decisions. Because I don't necessarily think that he's going to send me a burning bush for every area I need an answer for. But what I do think is, once I have the foundation, or at least some kind of a foundation solidified with my relationship with him, then I can go forward more confidently in knowing that my choices are going to be influenced by wisdom, and that he's with me, and that I don't have to look to those things to be my source or to be the foundation of my life anymore, because that's what I've done. I just felt like he said, if I gave you everything that you wanted, if everything was solved, like all the problems were solved, and you had literally anything and everything you could possibly imagine that you think will make you happy, that would be the foundation of your life. And you already know that that's shaky. So he sort of just cleared the stage to make it, to remove all of the noise, to just go directly to him. And it's definitely going against the grain of what I have normally taken comfort in. So it's challenging, but I'm having to use my faith to trust God and to, believe that he knows what he's doing and that I can trust him with my life. And it's not easy, but I know that he's gonna come around, and he's not gonna let me down. I know that if I keep seeking him, I know that everything is going to turn out, because it says that there's a Bible verse that says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added unto you." So I'm trusting that that's gonna happen. It's hard, it's difficult. I just want things to start to have some progress, but if there's things in my heart that are icky, then that's what needs to be dealt with first. And I have to be patient, and that's not something I'm very good at, but that's the only way you get better at it, I guess, is demonstrating patience, being in situations where you have to utilize it. So yeah, I guess if you're in this situation, like I mentioned, if there's any sort of advice I can offer from being in this situation myself, is take the timeline off, because I think that's the perfect recipe for disappointment. And also the expectations off too, of how you think it's going to look specifically in your mind. Because this is not what I imagine. So, and to just submit to his will, as difficult as it might be, I think just even asking him to help you do that he's kind, and he will. So yeah, that's what I've got, and I hope it wasn't too rambly. I hope it kind of made sense. And yeah, I'm definitely not arrived, but I think that I have a level of being content that I didn't have before, because I know it's not all up to me. It's not all on my shoulders. And I know that I'm just going to basically be using my faith to trust him because it's hard for me to trust him. So, yeah, if you're in that position, just keep at it. I'm definitely right there with you.